Hey everybody, this is Street Monk. Uh, I want to say hello and good morning to everybody from Ontario, California. Well, anyways, I had a great day yesterday. I spent time with a person. That person's name's going to be Sam, just to save the person anonymity or respect their anonymity. So, anyways, I spent the day with Sam, and Sam's on crystal meth. Crystal meth is, of course, it's an illegal drug that seems to be rampant, not only in our city, but it seems like all over our states and even our nation. And so many people, so many youth are hooked on it. I see them, they're doubling, tripling out here. And they're young as maybe, 14, 15. At least that's what they look. Um, and I've met those who are 17, 18, 19 as well. So it's harming a lot of our youth. I think it's like taking their souls as well. Oh, quickly before I forget, one of the neatest things I learned recently was that somehow there's a connection to music, evil music. It seems like the last few persons I've known, have listened to really what they call that rap song, that rap music, which is um, talks about a lot of horrible abuses, and killings and mayhem, and a lot of cursing, a lot of bad language is used in this music, and it's interesting. They seem to follow along on step, never missing a beat. But when you talk to them, I mean, they're like everywhere. They're left field, right field, you know, home base. I mean, very sporadic. Well, anyway, yeah, that's when I tried conversing with this Sam person. Um, Real jovial at the beginning. He just had a really good way about him, smiling and stuff, and that was really attractive. I get attracted to people like that because it's just like, wow, out in the streets, it's kind of, life can be hard, but if you manage to be kind of happy, that kind of interests me, fascinates me. So I came up to Sam, started talking to Sam, and yeah, it didn't take long to figure out he was on crystal meth. He would look at you in the eyes and say a lot of things, but didn't make any sense at all. Words are fragmented, ideas are fragmented, and there's no other word but spacey, very spacey. Conversations way out there. Talking about witchcraft and stuff like that. But I think as part of that, listening to rap, that they all seem to follow rock and roll probably as well. But anyways, Sam was a real nice guy, real gentle soul, and we were able to just get up and go and walk around and just kind of simply enjoy each other's company throughout the day and throughout the morning, and we ate, and still we'd have conversations, but it was kind of like I said, it was more one-sided. Sam's would just be talking nonstop about things that of course, didn't make much sense, but you know, you got to kind of get yourself involved in the conversation. So you have to say yes, no, and agree, disagree. Well, try to agree. Don't try to disagree too much. You don't know how they may respond. So it's just interesting watching the conversations, or the attempted conversations go along, and the mind is so flighty. It's very hard, but they can be jovial the next moment. So it's kind of interesting watching all this. I have a little medical background and a little bit of mental health background too. So kind of stuff like this really fascinates me. A couple of things I noticed from Sam. Um, Sam, of course, is kind of doesn't seem to know society might be watching him, because he could walk by and do kind of odd things, like talking to himself. I've seen him drag his possessions, his belongings, to the ground, and cross a big street and could care less if people were watching. So they kind of have a sort of an antisocial thing going as well. They don't seem to care if people are around and stuff. They'll still do whatever they're doing. Simple things like cutting fingernails, and putting on your clothes properly. T-shirt, perhaps like a man, then a shirt and top, then a jacket. They kind of mix it up. They kind of get it all wrong, but they don't seem to mind. They're kind of happy with it, as a matter of fact. So that's kind of fun. It's kind of, kind of neat watching that. They kind of look different, but hey, we're all kind of different out here, so not too different. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I think that the main thing is their ideas are fragmented, and it's hard to follow. And there's definitely a breakdown in their mind. And I don't know if it's also Sam's teeth were all moving in different directions because this crystal meth does damage your face, and then it starts damaging your skin, and it makes a 20-year-old person look 40, 50 years old really fast. Their skin breaks down, gets dry, itchy, uh, cheeks sink in to their faces, their eyeballs, their eye sockets bulge out. So they start looking really old if they've been on it long enough. Sam's teeth were already moving in different directions. Gums were bleeding. All signs of crystal meth use. Dry mouth is another thing they have. And like I said, I spent the day with Sam, and Sam overall was really good. And we could have hung. And then as it got later, all it took is one thing to go wrong, and boom, from a good person to a very angry person. And to stop a person like that from being angry is very hard to do. Um, is it something that could be fixed? Is this Sam person lost forever? He's getting there, unfortunately. Sam's getting there. It seems like the mind is very damaged. And but of course I won't be around that person for years later, so I don't know. But there's a good story. I have another gal. That's a gal that I know. She's on crystal meth, and she got off of it. She was left jail, and before that, she was always very angry and very violent and antisocial. And as soon as she got out of prison or jail, she was very talkative, very logical, very rational, made good conversations, followed conversations, very friendly and very sociable. So that side of her I didn't expect, but it can happen. I mean, they could pull out of this drug addiction, and hopefully they can stay off of it. So that's where we have to keep praying for those who are hooked on drugs, those who are um, who have addictions. There's a lot of addictions. You have a drug addiction, alcohol addiction, gambling addiction, sexual addictions, eating disorder addictions. There's a lot of addictions out there. So let us keep praying for those with addictions. And like I said with Sam, unfortunately, mine seems to be very damaged. Saddens my heart. But we still need to kind of support them, if not in prayer, but feeding them, giving them to drink and stuff, because sometimes they even lose that interest of eating and stuff. So we can help them out in that sense. Are they dangerous? Kind of scary, like I said, from a very jovial, happy person to all of a sudden getting very angry as soon as something goes wrong. So you got to be careful there. But we just need to clothe them, need to feed them, and all safely, of course. I'll always push safety when dealing with the homeless, because you never know who that person is. Be coming out of jail, could be a killer, gang member that likes harming people. Then there's most of the people homeless out here, kind of afraid of the general public. So in a sense, you're pretty much safe. But then all it takes is a couple bad apples, and you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Very fascinating day. They have a little slightly antisocial stuff going on in their lives. Their minds are a lot of times, when they're on meds, very unclear, scatterbrained. But we need to support them somehow, and And I think one is by feeding them and clothing them is a good start. Then give them shelter. We can. So anyway, that's pretty much it. This is this remind. Saying bye.